what I harp on so much is that if we're going to help a child, so I work with kids who struggle with executive function, so they're struggling with getting things done, their responsibilities and their schoolwork generally. So we have a child who's really struggling to get things done, and then that's point A, and we get to point B where the parent can go, ah, my kid knows how to get the important things done. It's not perfect, but my kid's going to be okay. There's this, and that transition can take 6 months. It can take 5 years to make that change. Like A to B, that journey is different for everybody. But core in that journey is the relationship and the connection. So we spend a lot of time talking about that. And the reason I bring that up is because of the small wins, because parents know my kid has to get 17 things done or they're going to fail this class. Like they are very black and white in terms of they see my kid needs to get this done or they're not going to get their driver's license, or they need to get their college app in if they want to go to college. Like they don't even have the executive function skills to do their college application, but they want to go to college, blah, blah. So we know that there's a long way to go for them to get the skills that they need if they struggle with executive function. Well, how do they do that? Parents want to see big change fast. That is so far from the reality of the situation. Baby steps are everything. I talk about micro successes, which is small wins, but even smaller. Like,
Right.
and then I talk about something called the 3-to-1 rule and pebbles of positivity. And these are just like, how do we see three positives to every one negative? Karen Tui always talks about that kids hear 20 to 40 negatives for every one positive they hear. And kids who struggle, neurodiverse kids, probably are the kids who hear more like 40, or who bring the average up to numbers like that. But we want to see three positives, everyone negative, or it doesn't matter how many, but we want to be moving in that direction. And the pebbles of positivity, you're always just throwing out what Debbie said. I noticed, now she used that in a little different context, but I noticed you just did that. I noticed you just put your name on your paper independently. Awesome. But you're throwing that pebble out and not waiting for a conversation or response, but you're just sort of noticing them all the time. They need to be seen. We notice what they don't do all the time, and we say that, and that's really easy, and that's a cultural thing. There's no shame in that. We've learned that focus. But if we want our kid to transition on that journey from A to B, we need to see them and reinforce what's working. And they need to be noticed. And they're doing so many amazing things that we don't notice, not purposely, but all the time. And I think one thing Debbie really does well is she is really good at noticing like all these little things on a regular basis. But that's what we all, and that's, I will tell you in my work, that's what I do when I have, and all the kids I work with are resistant. How am I going to get a resistant kid to listen to this Seth guy and take some of this guidance? Well, I mean, part of what I do is I just notice them, Oh, that's an awesome t-shirt. Oh, you're into rock and roll. Who's your favorite band? Oh, that's a cool band. Oh, what, like just, but not BS, like really noticing, just taking a moment to really notice over and over and over but then again, to circle back to what you started with, Debbie, is the small wins. You have to build on small wins. So what I see is, we have small wins, small wins, small, and then we have, obviously we have 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 10 steps forward, 20 steps back, 10 steps forward, 2 steps back. It varies all the time. And it depends on where our focus is. Is it on grades and achievement and these sorts of words, or is it on the things that create the skills that they're going to need to have a good life? But what happens is when we purposely start creating these small success experiences and small wins, we really do start to have little surges where it starts to gel. The skill sets start to gel. And then one day the parents or the kid looks back, but usually the parents look back and they go, oh my gosh, we're not there. How did that happen? And it happened because we've all of the people in this kid's life have been trying to make these small wins happen. I'm spending so much time on this for those listening because it is everything. I say baby steps are everything. You may
You
get the
know,
big wins, forget about them. Focus on the baby steps. They mean everything, and I call it micro successes. That's everything. That's where it's at.